What happens when Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and the Iron Fist team up? I have no idea, but these next people might. So thank you so much, Elodie, Jessica, and Marco. We have Electric, Colleen Wing, and one of our amazing showrunners in the flesh. So just break it down for us. What full season, first episode to episode 8, start at the top.
Marco.
Okay, yeah, we open on
interior.
Interior. Fade
in.
I can't, but the trailers, I think, tell some of the story.
Yeah, what was the biggest challenge in bringing these 4 characters and beyond everyone who is in their shows together in only 8 episodes?
I think the biggest challenge was in the fact that the audiences had seemingly loved all of the characters and their own shows and their supporting cast and everything, so it really felt like, you know, the challenge was on. It was time to. People loved Colleen. People loved Elektra. People loved Karen. You know, everyone felt like we really need to honor all of the characters. So the hardest part was making sure that everyone was awesome and that everyone felt awesome. So I hope and think that we accomplished that.
Well, we did. We felt awesome.
Yeah,
did you
feel awesome?
Everything is awesome.
Elodie, I'm so glad that you're here because it means that we're definitely seeing Elektra again.
Yes,
who left her
back.
in some pretty dire straits. So what can you preview of her role this season? I imagine maybe she's more of a villain than she was in Daredevil season 2.
I wouldn't say she's a villain. I don't like classify characters this way, and to me she's not, you know. I carry Elektra in my heart, but I would say that she's definitely darker. You know, she leaned towards her dark side a little bit more this season, so that's it. And the good news is she's alive, so you know you'll get to see her.
Exactly. Yeah. And now we just saw Colleen recently in Iron Fist. What can you sort of preview of where we pick up with her in the Defenders?
I mean, we start. I would say it's a couple months after what happened in Iron Fist, and Danny and I are abroad and doing stuff, hunting
on holiday somewhere,
hunting people. I think it's pretty clear if you've seen the Iron Fist what we're doing. We're trying to find information, trying to find people, and it all kind of leads us back to New York. And Colleen's in an interesting place in that she's been stuck with Danny 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
I like your phrasing of stuck with.
Well, they've just been together with no one else. Right. And I mean, at the end of Iron Fist, she had her whole support system ripped away from her. Her surrogate father, her religion, her job, her students. And so to just then go from that to a very compact relationship being stuck with this one person, it kind of sent her a bit crazy, I think. She has a bit of a breakdown.
Well, that's an exciting tease of what's to come. But I mean, some of these characters that will all be together in the Defenders have met already, but a lot of them are meeting for the first time in the show. What was that experience like, getting to interact with some of your other Netflix Marvel colleagues for the first time and all be in the same scenes together?
It honestly was great.
It was a lot of fun.
It's a lot of, you know, everyone's good. It's a really good team, and we bonded quite quickly.
Yeah,
I would say it was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not on screen, but it did feel like
but you were there.
But it did feel like they had all watched each other's shows in anticipation, knowing, oh, someday I'm going to have scenes with so and so. So I remember Kristen and Charlie, for example, being like, I've been waiting to have scenes with you for years.
I have been waiting for them to have scenes together as well for years. Marco, you can probably speak to this best, but how many episodes are you going to spend sort of setting up these characters, getting to know each other and meeting each other, versus getting into like the meat of the fight and battling badass Sigourney Weaver as your villain?
Yeah, badass Sigourney Weaver. I mean, really, honestly, the question is just we take our time. It's organic. It really feels like each of these characters who are very independent have to kind of come to this story on their own. None of the 4 main leads are going to be the kind of people who you tell them this is the mission and they have to go do it. They all kind of have to get walked there and find their own way in. So really we take our time to honor the fact that each of those characters are so independent.
Let's talk about Sigourney as the villain, though, because what incredible casting. We have no idea who she's playing as of this point in time. But what can you guys say about having her on set, having what her role is in sort of inciting the conflict of this season?
I got really lucky to be on her side.
Yeah,
on her
it's
character's
the side that I would be on.
And it was just incredible to work with such a wonderful woman, strong, brilliant, intelligent woman, and such a generous actress as well. I mean, it was just a blessing for me, and you'll see, how she's brilliant, and she really brings this character on the table. She brings it. It's just a privilege for me to be with her. I don't know. I could go on and on and on about
Jessica, I hope that you
Weaver.
get to fight against her. Please tell me that's something that we're going to be seeing, some showdowns against Sigourney and her men.
I don't know. What can I say? I was a fan. Now I'm an air conditioner. I think Sigourney's a genius.
I mean, beyond all the obvious reasons, why was Sigourney the right actress to play this role?
Honestly, in the writers' room, when we started modeling the character, we started talking about the character as a Sigourney Weaver type. And none of us ever thought that Jeff Loeb was going to call and say, tomorrow you have a phone call with Sigourney Weaver. Please talk to Ripley and convince her to take the job. So, I mean, not only is she the perfect person to play it, it's also just the only person we ever imagined playing the role.
Oh, I can't wait to see it. Now, I'm being a little greedy because we've been waiting for the Defenders for so long, but now I'm going to ask you about what comes after that. But I do want to ask you, Elodie and Jessica, and Marco as well, for whichever show that you work on after this. What are you most excited about where you get to take these characters when they're done with the Defenders and moving on to what's next?
That's a good question for you.
And we lost Jessica.
There's a red Marvel sniper dot on your forehead.
We shouldn't have done this out on the balcony. You guys are unsafe.
I know.
Can you speak broadly about sort of what you're excited about doing after all these characters have come together, but when they go back to their respective shows?
I can say one thing, which what I think is interesting about these. I mean, at this point, for example, Daredevil's done 26 episodes of TV. These characters and these actors are all just really interested in making the characters smarter and smarter and smarter, and having them go through experiences and being able to play story and do things. So I just think the interesting thing is to be able to come back to these characters and to feel like, now that I know what I learned last season, now who am I? Mm-hmm. So for each of them, I specifically think these two will learn a lot this season and come out of it different people in an interesting way.
One of the things which I think is great about the Marvel Netflix shows is that they don't feel that need to, here's the character and they have to stay that way. Like, it's a real evolution. Yeah. I look at someone like Misty's character going through Luke Cage and then Defenders and what she goes in the future, and it's the biggest transformations, and that's really refreshing. So I hope that happens.
Yeah, are
with me.
we that much closer to a Daughters of the Dragon show and an Elektra show? Marco?
I can't answer that, but what I can say is I was on set. I was on set for some of these, the first time some of these characters meet each other, and there was a moment. I mean, it's in the trailer. There's a moment where Matt Murdock and Jessica walk into the same room, and there's a sound guy in the back looking at me, like punching me in the shoulder, like, this is happening. This is happening. And so there are a couple of those moments where it feels like they're sharing the same screen. This isn't just some promo material. Like, we're shooting the show.
That's how I felt when I saw Luke Cage and Iron Fist.
Yeah.
Together. When I was reading the script, I went,
yeah. So there's a lot of those moments throughout. And even the crews making the shows, the people writing the shows, we're all fans as well. So we got to kind of just make the moments we have been waiting for, and also make some moments that were a little unexpected and that we weren't expecting, which is exciting.
Cannot wait to see it. Thank you guys so much for coming by
Thank
IGN
you.
Live at Comic-Con.
Thank you.
You can catch The Defenders soon on Netflix. Until then, let's go back to the show. Bye.
Thank you.